Hi everyone, this is Kannababu. This is part 5 of CRUD operations in ASP.NET MVC by using Entity Framework. So we already know that Entity Framework, it is a ORM framework which is used to interact with the database without writing any SQL queries. So in Entity Framework we have three types of approaches are there: database first approach, code first approach, model first approach. Is it clear? Database first approach means in database first approach we need to create the database tables. Based on the database tables, entity framework will automatically generate the entity class, DB context class and DB set. Is it clear? So here there is one database table is there EMP. In olden days we used to directly communicate with the database by writing the SQL queries and C# code, that is ADO.NET. ADO.NET is a technology which is used to communicate with the database by writing queries, SQL queries. But nowadays, entity framework is ORDBMS, something like working with collections, group of objects. Now, what entity framework is telling? It is telling that developer, you don't interact with database directly. I will try to interact. Microsoft has invented one framework, that is entity framework. This framework will communicate with the database and it will consider table as class, column as property, row as object. Okay na? And it will create one DB context class with some ready-made methods like add method, remove method, find method, toList method, save changes method. And DB set is nothing but a collection. So in database first approach, we need to create the database tables. Based on database tables, entity framework will automatically generate the entity class. Is it clear? And DB context class and a DB set. So as a developer, you must know how to perform operations on collections. Is it clear? So this setup is ready. Your job is just to create the table and then you have to do some normal steps. Then automatically these classes are generated: entity class, DB context class and DB set. And then you must know how to fetch the data from the collection by using the ready-made methods given by DB context class. Okay. So here I'll try to first of all open my SQL Server database. Try to right click, connect. I already logged in. Server name is dot. If you want to connect with SQL Server authentication, username is SA, password is ABC. Click on connect. Then automatically here I will try to go to my new query and I will try to create one database and I will try to create one table. Because in database first approach, database table must be created first. Is it clear? And primary key is also mandatory when you work with entity framework, any approach. First I'll create one database, create database, DBF, database first. That is the database name. And here I want to use the database. Use DBF. I want to use the database. And then I want to create the table. Create table EMP employee. Column name I'll give e number. Data type int. I'll try to apply primary key, comma ename. Data type I'll give varchar of 50. And here I'll try to give comma salary. Data type I'll give money. This is my table. Is it clear? I'll try to create my database table. Press F5. Sir, I applied primary key. Applied primary key for what? E number. Is it clear? This is my table. So here once you can go and check in your Object Explorer. There you can see databases. There you can see DBF. There you can see tables. There you can see one table with name employee with columns e number, e name and salary. E number is primary key. Primary key is mandatory when you work with entity framework, any approach. So here I'll try to open my Visual Studio. Go to File, New, Project. Okay, here I'll try to select Web, ASP.NET Web Application. The name I will give as DBF Demo. Click on OK. Click on OK here. Okay, and here you can see something like this. You can select the ASP.NET MVC. Here you have to select the empty MVC application. Click on OK. Is it clear? But in order to work with entity framework, you have to install the entity framework software. Is it clear? Then only you can able to work. Just that is one line only. So here now you can go to view solution explorer. There you can see models, views and controllers. First of all, you have to install entity framework. Go to tools. There you can see library package manager. There you can see manage NuGet packages for solution. So here Microsoft has given what? Here Microsoft has given one NuGet package manager. Is it clear? It is something like if you want to develop any application, you have to install lot of softwares. Like Angular is required, like Entity Framework is required, like Bootstrap is required. Some people may use jQuery. But in order to install all these softwares, you have to download the software from Google, which is very difficult process. Difficult process means when the developer will search any software in Google, Google will not give you the genuine link. So it is waste of the time of the developer to identify the genuine software links, because multiple third parties are required to develop any application. So Microsoft is telling developer, I will give you one library, where largest library, that is NuGet package manager. This library, what it will do, you can directly connect to this library and you can what download the softwares whatever you want. NuGet package manager. And here you can see, there you can see internet is required, and here you have to go to online. Here you have to go to where? Online, and you have to install the entity framework. Is it clear? Here it retrieving the information. Just here you can if you want to install Bootstrap or jQuery or Angular or NUnit or entity framework, any other softwares, everything is available related to your application or project is available in NuGet package manager. It is the largest library. Similarly, in Angular also you have NPM, node package manager. Like this, here we have NuGet package manager .NET. Here when you click on all, here you can search something whatever you want. Here you can search something like entity. Here you can search so that it will bring the related package from internet. Is it clear? Here you can see entity framework. Here you click on install. It is installing, downloading entity framework version. Click on OK. Click on I accept. So automatically entity framework is installed. Okay, now successfully entity framework is installed and attached that to your project. Now you can use that particular entity framework. Is it clear? Here after installation, you will get one checkbox here, green color tick mark, that is entity framework is successfully installed. If you want to know whether it is installed or not, confirm. If you want to confirm, go to packages.config file. There here you can see entity framework. So generally in MVC, what is packages.config file means? It is used to maintain the list of softwares that are installed in your particular project. Any third party software. So this is about packages.config file. It is used to maintain the list of software that was already installed. Okay, so here let us see what I'm telling means. Right click on the models folder. Here what to do? Add new item. Add new item. Select what? Data. Here you can select data. Here select ADO.NET entity data model. And here you can create one name of the file. One EDMX file is created. EDMX means entity data model extension. Why we are doing this one means to create the setup. Entity class, DB context class, DB set, all these things. So here you have to select the table, which table you want to convert into entity class, that you have to select. Generate from database, click on next button. Here also you can select the new connection, because you have to interact with the database. New connection, here you can select, and there you can mention the database connection string. Server name I will give as dot. SQL Server authentication, username I will give SA, password I will give ABC, database name I will try to give my database name as DBF. Click on test connection, click on OK, click on OK. So here what is happening means we are importing our database table into your front end, so that your table will be converted into class. Check the radio button, include the sensitive data in the connection string. So password also will be attached. Here you have one web.config file. Connection string is automatically generated. You no need to write separate code for connection string. Generally, if you want to declare the connection string globally, you will write in web.config file now. So here automatically the connection string will be automatically generated. The name of the connection string is dbf entities. Click on next button, and here you can see the tables belongs to that particular database. Here you can see the tables. Retrieving database information, please wait. So here you can see the tables. There you can see table name is employee. Which table you want to apply database first approach, that table you have to select. Now click and finish. Click on finish. Click on OK button. Then automatically entity framework setup will be ready. Here entity class is ready, DB context class is ready, and DB set is ready. That is what happened now because of this navigation. Whatever the navigation we have done, because of this, this is your entity class. Your class name is employee. Your three properties are created. Okay, na? That is e-number, e-name, and salary. Here you can see. Here you see, here your class is generated, employee.cs. Your table is converted into class. Your column is converted into properties, e-number, e-name, and salary. And here you have one more class is generated, DB context class. And this DB context class is responsible to communicate with the database. Is it clear? It consists of some ready-made methods. As I already told you, know, the setup is ready. Okay, na? So what is ready? Entity class is ready, and DB context is ready, and DB set is ready. Now our job is to perform CRUD operations on this collection. Collection is nothing but DB set. Okay, na? So that is database first approach. We need to create the database table. Based on database table, entity framework will automatically generate the entity class, DB context class, and DB set. So here, in order to perform the CRUD operations, what to do? Go to your solution explorer. There you can see controllers. So right click on controllers, add controller. The name of the controller I will give as employee controller. Click on add button. So we already know that controller consists of action methods. Controller consists of what? Action methods. Here we are discussing about database first approach. Is it clear? Here we already know about controllers. Controller consists of action methods. So here I'll try to declare something like this. Some action method. Here I'll try to declare one action method. Now no need to write any ADO.NET code. Ready-made collection is there. You must know how to get the data from the collection. So first of all, I want to get the data from the collection. So I'll try to create an object for my DB context class. Go to Solution Explorer, web.config file. There you can see the connection string is generated automatically. The name of the connection string is dbf entities. You no need to write any ADO.NET code, SQL connection, con.open, all these things are not required. Now here what to do? Create an object for that class. DB entities, obj is equal to new dbf entities of. Okay, na? Now here you can use the namespace name because it is available under models. Using dbf demo.models, here you have to write. Because your total EDMX file is available under models folder only. Okay. If you want to access that, you have to declare the namespace. Now here I want to get the data. Here I will try to write something like this. Obj dot collection name, DB set name is employees dot toList. That's it. See what is happening? Your collection name is employees. Okay, na? DB set is created now. Entity class DB set DB context. Your collection name is employees. We are trying to fetch the data from the collection and display in the front end in the form of table. So actually this toList method return type is IEnumerable. It is one collection. IEnumerable of, here I will try to give models dot employee. It is one collection. The super interface for all the collection is IEnumerable. Did you understood? And I will try to store this IE in one temp data. Temp data of IE is equal to IE, something like this. And I want to keep the data. Temp data dot keep off. So this is how I will try to fetch the data from the collection. Okay. Okay. So here let us see here. Now I want to get the data from the collection and store in temp data. Now I'll try to right click on index, add view. Add view. I want to generate the view. Select the view name is index. Template I will give something like If you want to use scaffolding template, you can use, we'll use scaffolding. I'll try to select list, model class. Model class I'll give employee dbf demo.models and data context class db entities, and here you can click on add button. So automatically view is generated. Automatically view is generated. Scaffold. So scaffolding means automatically the view will be generated based on your model class. See, I am getting one error because after doing all these things, we have to build. After adding the entity framework, you have to build the solution so that all the changes will be saved. Now here I will not use temp data. What I will do, I stored the data in IE now. Directly I will pass this IE to the view. At the time of invoking this view, I am passing this IE object. Okay, now so right click on index. What to do? Add view, and here select the view name index. Template I will select list. Model class I will try to select employee. Data context class I will try to select dbf entities. Is it clear? This data context class also you have to select. This options you have to select and then click on add. Then automatically view is generated. Based on your model class, view will be automatically generated. No need to write any code. Is it clear? For index.html, it is automatically generated with some default code with edit button, delete button, and details button. As I want to perform all the CRUD operations, I have taken all the buttons. If you want to just check, go to Solution Explorer. Here you can see app_start rootconfig.cs. There you can see the default controller name. I'll give as employee. Okay, now once if you want to check the output, test the project, press F5 and check the output. So as there is no data in the database table, you have not seen any data, and by default it is displaying ename and salary only. Primary key column will not be displayed here. That is the reason you cannot see e-number. So go to, if you want to display e-number also, just you can edit this one. Go to index.html. Here you can create one more td, and here you can give item.enumber, and here you can give item.enumber. Okay, na? So now I want to add the employee details. For that I'll create one more action method. So I'll try to create one more action method, and here I'll try to give something like return view off, and I'll try to decorate this method with http get attribute. http get. Are you following? And this is my get method, and I'll try to declare one more method, something like this, http post. So when user, if the request is going to the server by entering URL or hyperlink, then get method will execute. And if the request is going when user clicks on any submit button, then post method will execute. For this post method, I will pass the input as model class, entity class, models.employee e1. Automatically this employee class is generated now. That is only your model. No need to again create any separate model class. So now right click on index. What to do? Add view. And here you can select the view name index. Template I will try to give create. Model class I will try to give employee. DB context class I'll give something like this. Click on add button. Already the index view is there now. Okay, sorry. I'll change the name. Oh, here I have not changed the name. Here give the name as create. Is it clear? Create. Here also create. So right click on create, add view. Here you can select the template create. Select model class also you can select. DB context class, click on add. DB context class means your this one dbf dot. If you don't understand means you can see dbf entities dot class name. So now create.cshtml is automatically generated. Now if you want, you can see, press F5 and check the output. And you have to post the data now. You have to post the data. That is important. Anyway, once we'll check and we'll go for post code also. Here the number of lines of code will reduce. Entity framework just 1 to 2 lines code only. You can perform all the CRUD operations easily when you work with what? Entity framework. Please try to subscribe to my channel for more videos. Click on create new. Here you can see automatically the page will come. Enter employee number 101, Anil 20,000. When I click on create, I want to save the employee details. For that we have to write the code. So go to employee controller.cs and here I will try to add the object. I already created the object for DB context class now. Call that method obj dot collection name employees dot add of what is the object name E1, and I want to save the changes obj dot save changes. And after inserting the record, again I will write redirect to action of. Again I want to go to index method. Are you following? So whenever user clicks on post button, whatever the values that you entered in the text boxes, these all values are automatically stored in the model object because of data binding. And add this object to the collection. Save the changes. Press F5. Now let us see. Here click on create new. And here I'll try to insert the values. 101. Here I'll give Anil 21,000. Click on create. So here you can see the values are automatically saved. I think 2 times I have not changed the name. That is the reason this error is coming. No problem. I'll go to create.cshtml. Here you can see, I think in index.cshtml, here both the times I given enumber only. So here I'll give ename. And here also display name, column headings also I will change. So here I'll try to give some th, and here I'll give some enumber. Enumber I will give. Instead of salary, I'll give enumber. Now once refresh. This is a customized code, index.html. Even though scaffolding template is there, scaffolding template will give you some automatic design code. You can customize, you can modify if you want, depending on your requirement. Is it clear? Now let us see here. Now here you can see you got the values 101, Anil 21,000. Again click on create new. You can insert one more employee, 102. Here I'll try to give Sunil 32,000. Click on create. And again I'll try to click on create new. Here I'll try to give 103. Here I'll try to give Vijay. Here I'll try to give 23,000. Click on create. Like this you can insert the values in the table. Similarly 104. Here I'll try to give James 32,000. Click on create. So whenever user clicks on delete, I want to delete the record. So what to do? For that you have to write one more method. So copy this and here you declare one more method here. After this post, here you declare one more method. The name of the method you can give as delete. Is it clear? At the time of deleting the record, I want to pass the ID. Here if you come down in index.html, automatically item.enumber is automatically attached. These all things I explained in the previous videos. Before watch this, you watch the previous videos. So I will try to pass something like int id. Now I want to get the object from the collection and remove the object from the collection. So obj dot employees dot find of. There is a predefined method called find. This method is used to find the object based on ID. So here whenever user clicks on employee delete button, 101 for example, that employee number is the input for this delete method. And based on that employee number, we are getting the object from the collection. And I will try to store this object in one variable, employee E1, reference variable. For that object I will store in one reference variable, E1 is equal to. Now I will try to remove the object from the collection. Obj dot employees dot remove of E1. Save the changes. Obj dot save changes. Because whatever the modifications we have done in collection, these modifications will automatically affect to original database. And again I want to go to the same page. Redirect to action of index. What is the meaning of redirect to action of? Again this request will go to the server. Again this method will execute. So that I want to again display, I don't want to display the deleted record in the view. Is it clear? So here you press F5 and once check the output. Here you see whenever user clicks on delete button, the record is deleted. Similarly, edit button. Whenever user clicks on edit button, it has to invoke the edit method. So here what to do? You can simply copy the same delete code and you can write here. In place of delete, you mention edit. I want to catch the value and send to edit view. Okay, na? So here right click on edit. What to do? First of all, you have to find the object from the collection and send the object to the view. Here I will try to write return view of. View of I will pass E1. Lot of imagination is required. Collection, you have to imagine that collection is there. We are performing CRUD operations on collection. Our database itself is collection. Now right click on edit, add view. Here select the template, that is edit. Select the model class name, employee. DB context class name, click on add button. Automatically the view will be generated. Edit view will be generated here, you can see. And here whenever user clicks on edit button, then post method must get executed. Write one more method. Decorate this method with HTTP post. And for this method I will pass the input as model object. So models.employee E1. And I want to, whatever the values, new values I entered in the text boxes, updated values are stored in E1. Now again I need to find the object from the collection. Get the object from the collection, and here I will try to, this is old object, OE, old employee, this is new employee. Now find the object from the collection, E1.enumber. If you want to update the record, means update the object in the collection and save the changes. So here I will write OE.ename, OE.ename, okay na, is equal to E1.ename. Similarly, OE.salary is equal to E1.salary. See here, what is happening? User will enter the values in the text boxes. No, whatever the values user will enter, that new values, it will be stored in E1. And here you have your collection. No, now you are bringing the old object from the collection and store in OE. So OE is collection object. E1 is text box values, new values, updated values. Now we are bringing this updated values and assigning to the old object and save the changes. obj.save changes, and again redirect to index method. Okay, na? Again return redirect to what? Index method. After editing, again display the edited record in the HTML table. Did you understood? So here let us see. See here, whenever user clicks on edit button, what will happen? Get method will get executed, and this employee number 101 is assigned to this ID. Now based on this particular what ID, we are getting that particular, this is collection. No, collection is nothing but group of objects. You need to get the object from the collection, specific object, and store in this E1, and that object details will send to edit form. This is your edit form. It will go to edit form. So automatically Anil 21,000 came. Now I'll try to update Anil to Anil Kumar. Salary 21,000 to 32,000. Now here whenever I click on this save button, what to do? Now again this post method will get executed. Whenever user clicks on save button, this post method will execute, and these values are stored in E1. Now again I am trying to get that particular old object from the collection and store in OE, because I need to update the collection object. So new values are in E1 now. OE.ename is Anil. Now it was updated to Anil Kumar. Old salary is 20,000, update to 32,000. Save the changes. Click on save. Then automatically Anil is updated to Anil Kumar. Like this you can perform the CRUD operations. Vijay Chandra, I will try to give something like this. Click on save. Like this you can perform CRUD operations. Is it clear? We can perform CRUD operations by using Angular, ASP.NET MVC. Is it clear? If anybody want to watch my, I have a separate Facebook group also. You can just log into that group, and you can log into World of .NET and World of Angular. There I will update a lot of new videos related to Angular. Try to subscribe to my channel, like the video, shares, practice more. If you practice more, definitely you will get what? The result. I hope everyone understand this one. Is it clear? This is World of Angular. Just go to Facebook and type this URL. Click on join in this group. All the Angular related videos are also available here. Right? For more videos, subscribe to my channel. That's it. Continue in the next video. Bye.